Oh, I hate you so much.
I didn't do it for the golden burritos. I said I was going to, and I didn't do it.
And this is Comic Burrito. This week in comic.
Yeah.
I'm Todd.
I'm Cole.
I'm snacking. I'm Nick.
Wow.
You're Snick?
I'm snacking, Nick.
Yeah, Snick. It's almost like the noise Wolverine's claws have. Just without a T. Snicked. Yeah. So close. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy New Comic Book Day.
Happy Wednesday.
What? It's Wednesday.
It was a stack of a Wednesday, too.
It is. Oh, man. This is a hell of a week. It's one of those where I don't know what's been going on, but we keep having week after week where I'm like, you could just almost randomize the list, and I'd be like, yeah, I could justify that. Like, that works. It's not what I think I would choose, but it'd be fine.
We almost had all three of us with different top threes. It was
close.
really, really close.
We're so
Really
close.
on my list, and he loved it.
Yeah, he did. What up, Steve? What up, Poser? Yes. Hi, Sam.
I would prefer not to, though.
But he can. It's not good of you. It's can. You can always try. But yeah, no, it's amazing. What's up, Phil? What?
Welcome.
Yeah, no, it's just an amazing week, and I'm so pleased. It had a lot of surprising books I wasn't ready to like as much as I did. So
Steve, they have one.
Do this. Whoops.
Steve, they have one at Woodland Mall in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's wearing a mask right now, though.
Zoltar.
Do they actually have one of those at Woodland Mall?
That's dope.
Yeah, it's in one of the. I don't know what store it is, but I took a picture of it.
They have one.
It's in a store, but he has a mask on his face.
Oh, is it like that
That's cool.
store that's just like, here's a bunch of weird stuff, and maybe you could buy like a ceramic dragon there?
Sleeping Tiger Imports.
It's not that.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm pretty sure.
It's not
for all your hippie stoner tchotchke needs. Here's Sleeping Tiger Imports. That's my favorite.
If I can find it, I'll tweet a picture of it.
And then speaking of This Week in Comics, we should talk about our top picks of the week. The burrito picks of the week.
The burrito picks of the week.
Burrito.
You want to actually talk about the books that we read this week?
We could try it. Well, let's see how it goes. I may have prepared some graphics so we can see how it jives with us. Number nine is We Live. Number 5. Oh my goodness! This is from Aftershock. It is Inaki Miranda and Roy Miranda are the writers. Inaki Miranda is the artist also. Eva de la Cruz is the colorist, and Dave Sharp is the letterer. Oh my goodness. This book, I have been loving it. I don't think it's maybe number 1 hit my top picks of that week, but since then it's been a solid choice, but it's never like hit. Ooh, so much payoff. So much good. I did not call this happening. This is how this arc ended. This is the end of the arc.
Okay.
End of volume 1. It is awesome. If you didn't get into this, especially with Aftershock, because they are the pricier side, if Chaos is in the comments, he can break down the price per page, how it's not really worth it. However, grab the trade.
I pretty much dropped
it. It is
because of that.
It's so pretty. It's a great story, and man, I am pumped for the next volume.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Let's go.
My favorite thing was this book has a QR code that you scan, and then there's like at a certain page you're supposed to start it. So it has like a little YouTube music thing that you play while you read it. I haven't liked it most of the issues, but this week I scanned it and started playing it, and I finished the book as the song ended. It was like I read the last word and the video ended, and it was just
I had like 20-30 seconds before it finished.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's another name? Because it might have another sub name, but it
is a different name.
At the end of this one, it has We Live Season 2 coming 2021.
And maybe it's called like,
I think it's like We Lived or something like that. It's
okay,
like
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, huge recommend. If you didn't pick up the singles, grab the trade. It's incredible. Oh my goodness. Speaking of incredible.
How incredible was it?
It's pretty incredible. Not helping you at all.
I can't segue from that. Speaking of, I see that Ryan is in the chat. And hi, Ryan.
Yeah.
And
Hi, Ryan.
thanks for coming, using precious bandwidth and power
Yeah,
while you're frozen in Texas, and we hope you're doing well. And
Good
speaking
luck,
of all of that,
we'll be thinking of you.
Speaking of cold and frozen,
What's up, Crudo?
Speaking
of cold and frozen, amazing.
Yeah, Snow Angels. See, we did it.
Yeah, we got
Snow
there.
Angels from Jeff Lemire.
Who?
Right? Lemire?
Who?
Lemire. I always say Lemire. I did it right this time. And Jacques. It's Comixology original, so digital only for probably the first. That's why I don't have a picture. Yeah. I loved this number one. Apparently there's a short story that he also wrote that you can get on Amazon for like $2. So I'm probably gonna read that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.Maybe I'm fanboying, but I liked it a lot.
Oh, I liked it a lot too. Hey, somebody who doesn't necessarily, you should go check out Chaos's video he put up this morning on Snow Angels. Because spoiler alert, he does not hate it. So, and he's probably impartial. I don't know.
He has nothing to prove, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
not that we do either.
Yeah, exactly.
4 or 5 issues.
If we do, we're doing it poorly. 4?
Yeah, I mean, the first issue definitely ends on a spot where it's like, I'm excited to see what happens. Let's go.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be any like crazy genre breaking. I don't think it has like anything crazy to say. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a cool story.
Just don't leave the trench.
Don't leave the trench.
Don't leave the trench, man.
Love the trench.
I like the little rules. I think I could get it like wood and like hang it, back here. Just in
this house, 3 rules. We have 3 rules. 1, don't leave the trench.
Right.
Yes.
Protects. I don't remember the other.
Yeah, it's something.
Provide.
You should go read it. It's cheaper than a normal comic because Comixology has their shit going on.
Or you can get really excited and wait because when this stuff sells really well, then I think Dark Horse puts out a trade. Right?
Yeah. They did with Afterlift.
So if you want to wait for print, then you probably could, but if you buy it, then there's a better chance of
Comixology Unlimited, no reason, you get it for free.
Read it and give it 5 stars.
So might as well check it out. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep. So are we talking about Thor? No.
That comes out next month.
Yeah, Thor 13 isn't on our list
But
because
we're going to talk about an actual good one that comes out this week. I mean, not saying Snow Angels is, but Thor 12 is.
Thor 12!
This Marvel comic is written by Donny Cates. His artist is Nick Klein, colorist Matt Wilson, and the designer and letterer is Joe Sabano. This has easily 2 of the most adorable comic book heroes in a fight action scene, and I'm super into it.
Thor and Hulk.
Throg, I think that's how you say his name. The Thor Frog, and
of course. Amazing.
So
I'm in for it.
Frog and the puppy. I mean, this was a lot of. I mean, this arc's been pretty good. I know Travis has been pretty high up on it, and he got me into it.
Oh, does he like it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, if I knew Travis liked it, I would have.
Why doesn't he ever talk about it?
Hated the other. Hated stuff before this, but this one's been pretty good.
I love it. It's better than it not being on the list, right? Or is this more insulting that it's on the list and low? Is it one of those things? It just would have been better to omit it. You can blame Cole.
I'm pretty sure that Thor is not even in this comic book.
He's on the cover.
Is he? I guess I probably should have shown that. He is not actually.
Oh, okay.
3 and whatever.
No, it says Thor on the fucking cover.
I know. Oh.
But he's not.
Yeah, but Thor is on the cover. So it's Thor.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's got his like the guy that's him when he's not him.
Sure.
I don't understand what's going on with that, but that might be something.
I don't either because I read to Thor 6 and I need to catch back up.
Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Okay,
He's in the issue, page 18 or 19. One page.
Okay, sorry, I forgot about that.
Jeez. You need to fact check yourself more, man.
I said I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's true.
Speaking of being pretty sure.
Speaking of being pretty sure.
I don't know. I was trying to set up something to something, but it didn't work.
Speaking of great number one.
I don't think we should try to come up with...
I didn't even know what the next book was. So
okay. I was like, I don't think we should try to come up with a jokey segue.
I got one. No, I got one.
Nope. Number 6 is Black Cotton #1 from Scout Comics. Created and story by Patrick Foreman and Brian Hawkins. Script is by Brian Hawkins. The art is Marco Perugini. And letters are Francisco Zamora. So... For those who don't know the premise, it's essentially whites are in the minority, and it starts off like just even in the ash can. It starts off with a black cop shooting a young white female. So essentially just role reversal of our world. And then he is the son of a very rich family, and their last name is Cotton. Really interesting because it's all black and white. It's very well done, like the art and everything is. Someone forgot to color that book. Yeah, no, it's because it's the black and white. See, but you can always go back because they did that with The Walking Dead. Someone forgot it, and now they're fixing it. So never know in the future.
It depending on who you are.
Depends.
After they make a subpar TV show about it, they'll come back and re-release it in color.
Yes. I very much enjoy it. It's thought-provoking. It is not high on my list because it's fun. This is not a fun comic. This is it's a really interesting thought experiment put onto a page where it seems like it would be interesting to give this to somebody who has racist tendencies or has, even if it's like subconscious, like societal ones, just a way to nudge somebody to see something from a different perspective and all of that. So it's like somebody come up with a thought experiment and then based a story around it, but then it's not like the story is about the role reversal of racial minority. There is an actual overarching story that just happens to mirror what's happening in our world with different circumstances. I believe it's going to become less of a black and white thing and more of a class issue as it goes on, which I think is going to be really interesting because it's blurring those lines of it doesn't really matter what color your skin is. There are classes in the world, and those are the people who it's actually us versus them, when these are just structural constructs we're trying to fight and get over, so maybe we can see a bigger problem. Who knows? I'd love to talk to him. Hopefully we'll have him on sometime because I think this is a really interesting discussion to be had. I know he's talked to quite a few of our YouTube friends. You should search that on YouTube. It's all very interesting. I really like it. I'm excited for my Scout box to come in, and I will read it again.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to look at it.
It wasn't super high on my list this week, only because I think it's going to be very good collected.
Yep.
Much like Black, which I read once the whole thing came out, I think it's going to be a very good thing once we can kind of see the full picture. It is fun to think about all the different things that he might be getting at and stuff with it. So It is a thought-provoking book for sure. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. I liked it a lot.
And I know what Ryan said too about like the non-colors, that like when I get the actual physical and I get to reread it, I'm excited to look at, because he mentioned like you don't actually see colors, but you have to like look and like kind of deeper dive into it to see like the differences in people's like once we have that, I'll be able to look at that a little bit more, which is exciting because I didn't even think about that as like not having color in this book as being a thing.
Oh, and then it's also like shaded very minimally to make it so it's hard to differentiate. You really do have to learn what the characters look like. You can't just base it off of very like superficial, easy to recognize things. You have to be like, oh, that's because it's a family. They also look very similar because
there's some that you only know by connection. And
correct.
Stuff too, that it's like, well,
it's really cool.
You don't necessarily know just by looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a very thought-provoking book that I very much enjoy, and if you don't get the Scout box, grab the Scout box because the next one is Black Cotton is in the.
Oh, you can't get that one. I don't think.
No, you missed one.
Well, get on the yeah, it's still there because it's not. Okay, it's the 26th,
you have until the 26th.
25th. We're going to say 25th because that's where it was. The 25th is the cutoff, so you can get Black Cotton #1, or you can use Burrito all caps and get them when they come out in trade or in singles all on their own. But yeah, easy recommendation. It's an interesting. It's definitely the most thought-provoking book I read this whole time. There's more fun ones, but this is the most thought-provoking.
For sure.
Up there, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So on to something completely different.
Other books that had some black and white pages. It did.
You're not lying.
It did have a few black pages. Was the Last Ronin #2 from Kevin Eastman, Laird, Waltz, Escorza, Bishop, Delgado. There's like 1,000 people on these books. There's so many people doing these books that they have to print them in these stupid, like slightly larger than normal comic book sizes.
Yeah, this is nice. Just barely.
Like it's not
barely.
Like
they should have just given us the magazine style one instead of the Golden Age or Silver Age
style.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm guessing they're out of them or something.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that reason is.
I just bought some.
Thank God the book is so good that I don't mind the size, I guess, but it's weird.
That's what she said.
But I don't want to. I know that there's a lot of trade waiters on this, especially with #1. So I'm definitely not giving away who Last Ronin is, and if you are, you suck.
Yeah, it's great.
Even still,
that is not okay. People are doing that. Screw you.
People that are trade waiting, and but this was I might have liked this one even better than the first issue. I think we're getting kind of a taste of what the series is going to be, and how it's going to kind of interact. There's some time jumps, so it's not all Last Ronin storyline, but we're getting like why and how this happened as well. And it's really cool. I'm glad I'm pulling this book because for one, it's taking a while, which is frustrating, but it's also like today, that's the first book I read today.
It's Last Ronin Day.
I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Are they still having a printing issue with printing enough? Because this was Comic Signal had only one per customer sign up for Last Ronin.
I'm just guessing because of the hype and they want to be nice, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I would guess there's probably some, but I don't think it was bad as the original.
They also they still had a second print of #1.
Yeah, because I remember I went in that.
Which I
saw that.
If they still have it next week, I'm going to buy it.
I went in like at 11 on the dot, and I was like, "Do you have any copies?" He was like, "We don't have enough for people that pre-ordered it, so no."
Pulled it, yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, thanks, Pete. You watch it."
I don't think this is
right.
As bad. They're still trying to curb.
And I mean, that's people. It's just nice. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say like, I don't think our shop's ever going to do that where they take an issue and sell it for more money the week of to promote trail. Like I don't know.
They only do that with incentives and stuff.
Which is what you're supposed to do with those,
right? That's the only time they do that with that kind of stuff. And they don't do like eBay sales and stuff. So they don't they don't hold copies from customers so that they can make more money on eBay or whatever. All that stuff, which is nice. But Last Ronin's awesome.
It's really good.
I really want to start pulling more Turtles books. I might start getting the ongoing stuff. I might start buying the early trades and see what happens once I catch up.
You should. Dude, it's awesome.
I kind of wish that they would end it and do like a reboot and I could jump on like a number one.
Yeah, but then
I would guess that they won't unless they change a different company.
But if it's so good, then keep it. But I can't get those early issues, right? There's no way.
No, we can get the trades. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a hoopla, right?
Well, if you get the IDW stuff, the IDW stuff is on Hoopla. At least the first
big collected editions too.
There are 5 issues though.
No, they have collected editions too.
But
you can get, like,
which in those you can't get. I don't think you can get those cheaper anywhere.
Those are worth something. Yeah, for sure. But you can knock out a lot of.
Poser said he got a couple issues of number 2, and seeing what he's seeing, he's glad he did. So maybe there was an issue with those.
Cool. All right.
I'm glad I got mine. My shops. I mean, they're cool about that.
Also, so I just got to ask. What is a tech boomer?
What is
I think you're the person that left us a comment that said that, and I don't know what that means. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we like Googled it, and we asked Jeeves, and he didn't know.
I even went to Bing.
We even checked Bing.
Speaking of Bing,
Encarta didn't have it. Alta Vista didn't have it.
Alta Vista. Why does everyone in this town use Alta Vista?
But we really should get back to getting these numbers together.
I think that we have different books here, right?
Oh, do I have the wrong thing?
Yeah, you definitely do.
Oh, yeah, no, I do. Never mind.
Number 4 is King in Black.
Yeah, number 4. There we go.
You know it as
obviously the segue was set up for that.
With a writer, Donnie Cates. And pencils, Ryan Stegman. This is an inker. It's JP Meyer. First time I've seen inker since like the Amalgam books that I've been reading.
Color artists still out there.
No, I know they're just they're not referenced. It is. It's a lot more rare in current comics.
I know you still see it every once in a while.
And letter of VC's Clayton Cowles. This book, I was reading this, and there's this part where Spider-Man just says something, and I laugh.
96 issues.
96 issues behind.
What are they on? Are they on like 115 or something?
Yeah, 116 something, and then there's a lot of like.
But anyway, King in Black.
Yeah,
it's a
King in Black
came out today. It's by Marvel.
Let's just. I mean, we're just trying to steamroll over the Marvel book.
I mean,
that's what we do. We might as well do it because we get crap for it. So. I've heard that, and I'm also very upset that this is like the first event in like a decade that I was like, you know what, I'm finally going to put my foot down, and I'm only going to do one event at a time, and I picked death metal.
This is far superior.
I'm aware that that's all I've heard, and I'm like, I chose wrong. I chose poorly, which is fine. I'll still get the collected, but it's good to hear it's still like hitting hard.
And the thing that I like about this, and maybe it's just the fatigue. Oh,
that's fair.
Oh, I'm offended.
Anyway, but yeah, like I think the thing I really like about this is that like the end of it is phenomenal. But you just see so many people. I mean, Poser's probably dope because there's this moment where it's just like and Namor, and it's like I'm here. But yes. Man, I don't know. King of Black. I think the tie-ins the thing I really like about this series is the tie-ins. You don't necessarily need them, but they're fun to see the world through other characters' views that might not be in the book. At least the ones that I'm reading. So that's it's just cool. Like here, here's some.
I read the Spider-Woman one.
The Gwenom versus Carnage. Or the Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman. I read Spider-Woman. Okay. Yeah, because I read Spider-Woman. So there was like an issue or two where it was in King in Black, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. All of a sudden, we're taking a quick detour from the main plot. We're going to go this way for a little bit. But it was still good. So I'm excited for it.
And that's the thing. I have not been picking up issues that I don't read that are the King in Black things. I've heard some people say that it's important. I haven't really had any issues. I don't think yet. I mean, I've read Venom because that's assuming tied into the main
I
story.
read Venom too, so that makes sense. So I could pick up King of Black 1 through 4 and be fine.
I would guess. I mean, I don't know if there's other people in the chat that are reading more tie-ins than I am. I read a few, and most of the tie-ins just seem to be like side stories that are just like, hey,
happening with Goo World.
Yeah, like, you know, like, and who knows? You know, there's like the stuff that's going in Thunderbolt. Maybe that will come in at some point.
I thought it was good.
Nick Khan makes a big point. I like death metal too.
I thought it was really
I mean,
good.
I did too. I enjoyed death metal. I thought it was fun, but
From what I hear, apparently this is
more.
the one that's better. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, cool. Maybe I'll check it out.
I mean, it definitely ties in a lot of Donny Cates stuff. Like,
sure.
Which I haven't read, so more power to you. Like I started trying to like I looked at getting into it and saw like what I needed to know, and I was like, no, I don't know, I can't do that. But who knows? Maybe sometime.
Maybe.
You
just really need to fill your heart more with it, man. You need to let in the Marvel love.
I don't know if I have enough space. It feels so full.
Yeah, except it's not, because your heart is really hollow.
Is it really hollow?
You have a hollow heart. And I bought 2 covers because I'm Cole and I couldn't choose, and I was
Nick is the
panicking
double
'cause
cover guy now.
I know, but the
No,
joke
I'm
is
not.
you, though.
No, I'm not, because even Todd was at the shop, and I was like, I went with A, and he's like, I don't know.
They put both in my box, and I was like, I wasn't going to make this decision. That's mean. So at some point, somebody watching this will probably have a chance to win one of these. And it's probably going to be this one, because this is really cool.
It is. I went A because Todd is always like, you got to get A. And
I say
I looked at
all
it
the time, but usually for different reasons.
If B is still there next week, I might grab it.
So, Hollow Heart, this is a Vault book. Vault presents Hollow Heart. The writer is Paul Elor. The lines and colors and covers are by Paul Tucker. And then the letters are by Paul Elor. He does the words and the letters. So he letters his own words. It's very neat. It kind of makes sense. It's interesting we don't see that combo more often since like that, but it obviously is like righty versus like designy. Those are 2 different things. But it's pretty cool. So it's a 2-person team who does the whole book. And it's really depressing.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got
really
vibes
depressing.
to like Rain Like Hammers, where it's just like, this book probably isn't going to be fun at all, but I'm into it.
Yeah, I read this book, and it was not very high on my list, but of all the books I've read this week, I have spent the most time thinking about this one.
It's like a thinker book.
I haven't been able to like stop thinking about it. And part of what I've been thinking about is why I didn't rate it as high as I did. But it's just I don't know. There's something. I'm going to have to pull it.
There's something very special about this book, and I think a lot's going to come of it, and I'm really excited. But it is horribly depressing. It's about a robot.
Is it a robot, though?
It's horror-ish. It's like a robot-ish in a horror.
I don't think it's on their horror-ish.
No, it's not on Nightmare.
Whatever that's called.
What is it called?
I don't know. I can look it up for you.
But there's a skull, right?
It's Night something.
It's a little spoopy.
Yeah, it's spoopy. That's what it is. This is a spoopy book.
It's a spoopy.
It's a spoopy and about robots and
spoopy robot.
It's very depressing. So it really likes it. Poser, I'm assuming if you haven't read it, you're going to read it or not. You'd really like it. It's really depressing.
Yeah, good Poser book.
Yeah. So Hollow Heart, easy.
Nightfall.
Oh man, Nightfall. There it is. Because that's right. Because I always try to not think about Batman when I read that.
There's no K.
There's no K. Yeah. Yeah. Really interesting Vault Comics. If you don't get Vault Comics, tell your local comic book store to get Vault Comics because
like I said,
they have a lot of good stuff.
I don't know. I read it and I had it pretty low, and I just kept thinking about it, and I just kept like counting my favorite books, and it was like I had like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and it was like no, and I'd count it again, and I'd count it again, and I'd count it again over and over and over, and I was just recounting. I recounted at least twice.
You made it seem like you recounted at least 4 or 5 times.
Speaking of,
it was at least twice. At least twice I recounted. The recount number 2 is so good.
Let me hold this up for you.
I cannot,
because you can't,
because my copy didn't show up, and I'm like borderline freaking out because like apparently
my Scout store.
Apparently they didn't get the order in before the final order cutoff. So like their order is in, but if it sells out after damages, they won't get one. And I'm like, do I order? But if I order one, then
you have to pay $1 shipping.
Well, that I got to pay shipping, but I don't even care about that. But then my shop gets it in, and now I don't want it because I already have it, right? Like,
yeah.
And so it's like but it's so. Oh, if you liked Recount 1,
yeah,
you're definitely gonna like Recount.
Which is written 1 and 2 are both written, and probably the future ones I would assume are both written by Jonathan Hedrick. The artist is Gabriel Ibarra Nunez. The colorist is Sunil Garage. I'm sorry, that's my bad. And letterer is Christian Deklominski. I usually try to practice a little bit because this is Nick's book, but then I realized he doesn't have his book, so he's probably not going to have the credits.
We actually had Jonathan on.
We did.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jonathan.
Oh, hey, welcome.
What's up, man? We really like this book.
It was my number 1 for the record, poser.
Well, dude, you can't spoil it yet.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
This like the craziness of 1 was just amplified with this one. So if you didn't like number 1, I assume it's because you did not read it.
That'll do it.
Yeah, or like you have a fear of people who wear masks.
It's the only thing I could possibly think of. Yeah, this is it's my favorite Scout book for sure. And it's one of my favorite books for sure.
Ooh. I've read like 40 Scout titles in the last month since I've started ordering all of them. So my mind melts trying to pick just one because that's like a majority of what I've read. But Recount would easily be up there. If I didn't already have it, it would have been on my first Scout order. It's fantastic. If you're going to pick up Scout, pick up Recount, Yasmin, and Electric Black. That's my guarantee.
And the mall.
Oh, yeah, and the mall. Grab the train. It's really expensive to not get the train.
The Recount 2 is the first book that has made our list 2 weeks in a row.
It is. Way to go, Recount. You're breaking records left and right.
It's a good book.
And I think you can get a second printing still pretty easily of the first one. And I know the first one you can still get, but it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
I just got the second.
But you get a second printing. It's a really cool cover, too.
It is. He's like,
yeah, it's really good. So easy time to jump in still because you can get that second printing, which is tough on some indie stuff. Sometimes you miss that first one and that's it.
It's better than the first. It's a smaller print, maybe. Who knows?
Sometimes. So
you just want it. You want it. It's good enough. It'll be a great trade, but it's good enough to just get the issues now.
And if you're on Facebook, I dropped a link to the Recount Facebook group.
There you go.
And you can see some pretty cool covers in there.
Scout, you can use coupon code Burrito in all caps.
All caps.
Get 10% off.
That's in the description if you need a reminder.
Or Lost In, too. You could use that one.
Stop. You're bad as poser.
He's going to say it anyways, so you might as well head it off.
All right.
Hey, Trevor.
We ready to appease the people? And by the people, I just mean poser.
Me?
You don't have to sub to Comic Tostada. Oh, gosh. I'm just clicking buttons.
Yeah, stop just clicking stuff.
Number 2, this is written by W. Maxwell Prince. It is artist is Zoe Thorogood, color Chris O'Halloran, and letters Good Ol' Neon. I think that Nick was super into number 1. I was a little bit more of this book is a lot like Ice Cream Man, and there's not too much different. I think issue 2 definitely separates this book into something a little bit more different and a little bit more on its own. And I thoroughly enjoyed this issue, and I think it was.
Awesome. I loved issue 1 more than you guys did, but I liked issue 2 better than
issue 1 wasn't a bad book.
I liked it better than you guys did, but
two's even better. Yeah.
I was just criticizing the fact that it seems like this is similar to that book, and I think this kind of is separating it, and hopefully it continues to go down more of this kind of a route.
Yeah, agreed. I am happy to see this.
Yeah.
And it makes me really excited for number 3.
Also, another very sad book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's definitely not like as much as like Hollow Heart, but like.
This is a pretty depressing list. This is definitely up there with our most depressing list of comics.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you serious? Haha, The Recount, Hollow Heart.
Yeah.
Last Ronin, Black Cotton, Snow Angels, We Live. Those aren't.
It's kind of a bummer week.
Yeah.
Even
King in Black is kind of not like a happy book.
Even better.
Even Thor probably technically isn't happy.
Awesome. We're batting 1,000. Come get depressed with us. But in like the best way. Because I love a good sad book, and Haha does that. Because it's really just like focusing on these are some shitty parts of humanity, but here is presented in a very like circusy way. But it's to make it more palatable while you deal with some really harsh reality.
It's perfect sad clown syndrome type
stuff where it's
it's a clown, but you're just like, oh my god, like this is terrible. Yeah. It's a clown, so you're like, hey.
Yeah, it's oof.
It's a little bit more than I thought it was gonna be for sure so far. So yeah, if it keeps up with this kind of. It
can even go to a little and be fine. It can jump a little. This is pretty good.
I'm like looking at my entire list.
You looking for something happy?
The first book that is like minutely happy is issue like what I have in 12th place. It's Champions Outlawed, and it's only sort of happy because they arrive on a pirate ship.
Second Coming number 2 was my 8th. That was kind of. I mean. Not really.
That's my 12th book.
He was kind of disappointed with humanity and what happened to it, so I don't know if I'd call it a happy book.
I mean, one character was kind of happy in
Batcat number 3.
I mean, I guess Catwoman might be happy, but like everyone else,
she was definitely happy on one of those pages.
High five.
Yeah, no, even my Future State stuff was kind of depressing.
I think. Once in
Young Hellboy was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was, I guess, Young Hellboy
sure.
wasn't
Young
depressing.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
So anyways, come get depressed with us. It's great.
One of those weeks.
But I mean, also, I'm just going to throw this out there with Haha number 2. I think you could just pick this book up no matter who you are.
Oh, for sure. I've been
you just read this book. I mean, if
you need to read one. If you missed one, grab 2. It's fine.
If you don't like depressing stories, and maybe this isn't the book for you, or if you're in a really bad place, maybe this also isn't a good book for you. But
yeah,
or maybe
that's sometimes the best thing for me. When I'm in a bad place, I love just to like feed that monster. It makes me feel better. Like something about it. It's the misery likes company thing. The misery likes company thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, personal picks of the week. Speaking of Cole's opinions,
you got to read Haven for Heroes. You got to read
The Recount and King in Black is my top 3.
The Recount is great. The Recount. Nick's top 3 of the week.
I can't even find my. I did find my Recount number 1.
Nice.
And he's got a peace sign, so that's almost.
Yeah, exactly. So
here it is. This is the only physical copy of my top 3.
I only have one physical of my top 3 too. That's great.
Because I have the Recount number 2 is my number 1 book of the week. Last Ronin number 2 is my number 2 book of the week, and Snow Angels number 1 is my number 3 book of the week.
Nice. Good so far. I have Hollow Heart number 1. Black Cotton number 1, and We Live number 5 as my top 3 picks of the week.
Because you have this one book.
I technically have two of the 3.
You might as well just write like Black Cotton We Live on one of those ones.
And we're all set. Yeah. Genius.
Thanks,
That's a whack fact right there.
Oh yeah, Whack was in here for a second ago, and
Oh, bye, Whack.
He might still be here.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah. Apparently, this is for a coffee shop in Chicago, and it says "Wow, Bob, wow."
Wow, wow,
Nice.
wow. How now, brown cow?
It was given to me because it was bought for my brother-in-law, and he didn't like it. So hey, I got it.
We Live was so good. It's my number 4. It's my number 4. I want to specify. It's my number 4.
3.
That book, that as a whole, I maybe should have switched it with, I don't know, but it was
It's too late now. The graphics have been made. It's been cemented.
Technically, Nick, your number 4 was haha.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I just looked.
Oh,
back.
it was. You're right. It was haha.
My number 4. My
five.
number 4 was the Recount.
And mine was Hollow Heart.
Oh, that's
Hollow
nice.
Heart
I like that it got there. You was way down on your list. You did not care for it as much as I did.
No, but like I said, it's the one I thought about the most. And if I were to like redo my list, it might. I don't know. We'll see.
It might.
It's the one that I'm gonna regrettably get number 2 and then love it more than you guys do.
It's interesting that you say that because it's literally what I was talking to Cole about a title that I read today.
I was about to be like, Todd, did you have a book like this?
I had a book like that where I read it, and like when I just kept thinking about all the books that I had, I ranked it initially at 15 out of 27. Out of 27, it was not because I read those on my special time.
That's right.
I don't put that on my This Week in Comics because I say that's a special book that I save for the next days, so I can savor. Because you only get new Black Hammer for so long. I would assume.
I don't know, man.
I know it might go forever, which is also cool. At number 15, I had
the one shot that's about the farm.
Right? So good, and nobody's on it.
No,
it's just a farm.
It's corn growing.
It falls off at the end of it. At the end.
Brilliant.
My number 15 was X-Men Legends #1 that came out today. And I literally just can't get it out of my brain. I really liked the book. I would say out of 27 books, it's only like my bottom 3-4 that I was really just kind of like iffy about. It was a very good week. I would say I like everything from 1 to 23. Which is impressive. That's a really good week. Those are good numbers.
18 books, and I think only the 18th book I wouldn't have wanted to talk about.
Yeah, like that's hard hitting. But X-Men Legends is I wasn't going to talk about artists and all of that, but the team who did it are amazing. It's such an old school X-Men story, which is really fun because I do love what current X-Men is doing. It's great, it's interesting, and it's refreshing. But I miss the X-Men that I like grew up with and all of that. And that's what this feels like. But it's done. The art is so pretty. It's so well done. Oh my goodness. It is.
Show that picture of Cyclops six-pack.
Show that picture of Cyclops six-pack. There's a lot of those, but
I don't know. There was just one picture. Yep, that's the one.
It is flippin' gorgeous, and it's this old school. This is not doing it justice with how it looks. It's just really pretty. It's really classic styling. It's an old school story. A story nearly 30 years in the making is what it's being pronounced. It's Fabian Nicezia, Brett Booth, Eldelso Corona, Guru Effects, VC's Joe Carmanga. Oh, yeah. And then created by Stanley and Jack Kirby, apparently. Whoever, yeah, you know.
No, that's
yeah.
the created title.
Yeah, no, I know. It's a story that takes place after X-Men 1991, number 39. So it's really fun to get these old footnotes and all of those things. I really like it. And if you're an X-Men fan, especially an old school X-Men fan, grab it. It's really fun. It's really cool.
If I were to have one book that I would maybe say this about, it would probably be Stillwater 6. And I saw that Nick actually made that reference.
Hilarious. I was like, I wonder what Nick's going to talk about, and then you talk about it.
I mean, it had a very good ending.
I thought we were going to ignore him.
Yeah. I mean, I
was hoping you would. I wasn't going to say
obviously, I had it down here.
I wasn't going to say anything if you guys didn't say anything, because I actually want to talk. I would almost rather talk about the book that was on, I believe, the end of all of our list.
No,
it's definitely not on my list because I just didn't straight up read it.
He didn't even read it.
Okay.
I would just it
was a number one from a very large company.
I don't want to talk about negative stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have anything bad to say about Area Number 1, which was a one shot from, and Brian Hamberlin did some amazing art.
Yeah, it's very well done art.
It was a one shot.
It's not my one shot.
Oh, it's a one shot.
I think it's a book that already happened, and it's like here's a story in the universe.
Definitely not for me, but it was very good. And if it's something that is for you, then you're gonna really like it. But
yeah, that's great for sure. It was not for me at all.
And I know Nick, you kind of missed. You mentioned Barbalian. I think that had the same effect for me is issue 5 of Skulldigger and Skeleton Boy, where like it's a good issue. Nothing was bad about that issue, but it's the issue right before the final issue.
Yeah.
And like for me, sometimes those ones get really hard to like justify. Is it better than
I thought Barbalian was a fantastic issue, and I purposefully put it lower on my list, knowing that next month it's gonna be like number 1 or number 2. Like
so speaking of the end of issues, and I want to like call this one out because it's over now, and I really did enjoy it. It was a really good week, and it was really hard to decide. American Ronin 5 of 5 came out today. It's a weird book, but I really like it. It's not necessarily my taste because it almost gives me anxiety just a little bit. Did just tastes of anxiety and all that, which I think is on purpose. It's a very just like claustrophobic book, and you feel what they're feeling because it is a book about empathy and all that, and they do a good job pushing that onto the reader. But yeah, AWA trades are cheap to come by. They're cheap,
and they're 10% off on Amazon.
Yeah,
I mean, get them at your local comic shop if you can.
Easy.
But if they don't carry them, they're 10% off on Amazon.
Yeah, easy choice. It's amazing. It's a really, really good read, but it's different. It's very different.
I thought I was going to finish that today, but I didn't because I just was like, I got a lot of Future State, and it must have somehow slipped under that.
Yeah, it's not American Vampire like Nick thinks.
No,
it's American Ronin.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
And it's not the last Ronin either. It's not at the end of the last Ronin.
I decided with AWA a long time ago I was going to trade weight all.
I did the exact opposite and said put every book on my
I know you did. But I did that. I did the opposite with what's the new one that's like Black Comics or Black
Bad Idea?
Bad Idea.
I did that too. I was the reason they started getting them because I was like, "Are you getting any of these books?" No, give me the 2 Matt Kent ones. And then they were like, "They're getting all the books," and I was like, "I might as well take all of them if you're getting all of them."
Yep, I'm getting one of each.
Well, they're doing 2 a month, so it's like
it's not a huge thing.
I mean, I think they might be like $5.99 a book, but like even at that point, $12.
I appreciate the publisher thinking about me and going, you know what? We should drop a whole bunch of cool shit all at once.
I was showing Todd some of the pages because they actually do it. It was weird. I was looking up who, like, the creative team on this book, and it actually mentions Peach Momoka because of that.
Oh.
There's like a prelude apparently in this issue.
I had a Peach book that I wasn't disappointed with, so maybe I'll pick that one up.
I mean, she's technically, I don't know if she's done interior art on a book before.
Well, I just mean a cover. She's doing the covers, right?
No, she's making.
No, it's
doing everything in Demon Deep. She's doing the art, she's doing the writing, and the cover.
So she's doing the cover. So I can buy a Peach book that I'll like.
Maybe. If we don't know, we've never seen her writing and stuff.
It's X-Men and it's horror, right?
I don't know if it's horror. It's called
That's
Demon
what
Day.
I read.
Oh, neat.
Oh, the preview.
Cool.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's what I read, so I'll try
Got
it.
Psylocke, Wolverine.
But that's like next month or something. Today,
Maybe
it's This
2
Week in
months, yeah.
Comics.
This week.
So I wonder what we didn't talk about that someone was like, this book should have been in the top
Yeah, we didn't
9.
get that this time,
Yeah.
which is cool. That's neat. Yeah,
And
we
if
can
we
get
did,
it this
you know,
week. So
leave a
let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Make sure you Ant-Man the like button, or you know, let us know what superhero you like. You touch the like button. Like that was weird.
Anyways, I'm Todd.
I'm Cole.
Nick.
And this has been
Bloop, bloop.
This Week in Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did this, but I have this now, so I gotta